Okay guys, now this is the second part of Leo's haircut, and I'm going to show you basically how to trim the rest of his body. I already did the clipping, so this will be the scissor trimming. And also I want to show you real quick, on Leo, when I give him a haircut, I like to clip just the white part of his face here because his whiskers stick out and his eye fuzz collects goop and stuff like that. So when I clip him short, I take a 10 or a 15 blade and I start at the corner of the eye and I scoop it forward just gently. I mainly stay on the white portion. Now, not all Cavaliers are colored the same, so for you that won't be true. But on Leo, you can see where his white place is. That is basically all I clip, okay? From the corner of the eye forward, just getting the whiskers and the muzzle nice and short and clean. Makes them have a real soft look to them. And since I'm clipping the rest of his body shorter, just want him to look groomed all around. So basically lips forward and eyes forward, the whole entire schnoz. That gives a nice little soft look to him. He won't look at the camera now though. He's I don't know where the camera's at. So that's basically what I do with his face. So now that the clipping is all done, what I'm going to do is, his ears are beautiful. I love them. But they're getting in the food and everything that he sticks his face in. So I'm going to trim a little bit off of them. And this is the way you trim just about any dog's ears. So it's not just true for cavies. You want them to be up in a normal position, usually. Leo may not stay in there because he likes to sit down. He's kind of lazy. But you just want to hold them out just a little bit. Take your scissors and you just go at a curved angle all the way down around the edge of the ear. Okay? At whatever length you want them. If you want them really short, you just have to watch out for the actual ear leather, which you can feel in there. You can feel where the ear ends. And if you want them really short, then you can take them right up to the end of the ear there if you want to. But we like his a little longer, so we're just going to leave them right about there. Just take the tips off of them. Keep them out of his food bowl. And then, again, try to stand them back up if they will. And then you want to try and keep them even, so you look about what you took off of the other ear, and you try to make it match. He says, "I'm not standing up, Mom." And then you just compare them with them looking at you square on, and that to me looks pretty darn even. Okay, so that's basically what you do with the ears. Okay, and you always want to make sure they're brushed and combed out before you trim them, because if they're not, then you're not going to get them very even. Okay, and then I'm not trimming much off of his feet today, but I am going to round them out just a little bit to try and make them a little more circular in shape. And so what you want to do is you want to look at them from underneath. You want to flip the paw up underneath, and you take your thinning shears or your scissors, whatever you have or are more comfortable with, and you just kind of look at the paw and see what's sticking out here, and if anything's sticking out further than the rest, like that little piece was, I'm going to snip it off just a little, okay? And then when he puts his paw back down, you're going to look at it, comb it all out to somewhat natural position, and anything you missed that looks a little funny, just take it off. And like I said, I'm leaving his pretty fuzzy, so I'm not taking much off of it at all. Just a little. So that's basically what I'm going to do with his foot. Now if you want a short paw, then go back and look at Remington, the other Cavalier that I have done, and you can see better how to do that on his haircut, because his owners wanted it short, his paws short. So for the rest of his feathering here on his leg, I'm going to use my thinning shears just to neaten it up a little bit. I've already clipped it with the body. And I'm just going to take my thinning shears all around wherever I feel is sticking out a little funnier than the rest. If you don't like the looks of it, then snip it off. I'm using thinning shears, but you can use scissors. It's just a little more of a blunt cut, so it's not quite as easy to make it look as nice. You can make it look just as nice, it just takes a little bit more work. Thinning shears, you can just kind of go in there and do what you got to do, and then it's done. Okay? Now, same here on the belly. Anything I see sticks out, I'm going to take my thinning shears, and you want to watch out for the manhood there. Don't cut that for sure. Or nipples, females, when they have big nipples, you don't want to cut those either, obviously. You just want to kind of go under there and thin out all that fuzz that's hanging out below the main majority of what you clipped. Okay. Then the back leg or foot is just the same as I did on the front. If you're leaving them scruffy like this, you just want to make them a little more circular in shape. So you kind of look at him under here. His back feet tend to be a little better shaped than his front ones. Okay, I've not taken much off his feet at all. Not at all. I'm not taking much off his feet. Kind of, his Grinch toes have grown on me. Let's just put it that way. Grinch toes. Okay. Now, for the back leg, you're going to do just the same way you did the front. You're just going to neaten anything that sticks out further than the rest. Anything that pokes out and strikes you as funny looking. Find the shape of the leg in there. Kind of hover over the leg because you don't want to go straight to the skin. Anything back here you think needs to come off. Then on the inside of the leg you do the same thing. I'm going to turn you around here, Leo. You're going to comb it up a little. And then you're going to take your scissors or your thinners or whatever you're using and go along the leg here. Neatening where you need to neaten. I don't ever trim his tail, but if you want to trim your dog's tail, what you would do is just comb it all down, hold it out in a natural position, and then just trim along the edge. His legs, his belly, his feet. And now I want to check under here because the clippers don't really get under here all that well. So I'm just going to thin this stuff out just a little bit under his ear and on the side of his face because it was not quite thick enough to be picked up by the clippers. Now, I'm letting his head grow out. So this stuff right here that hangs kind of in front of the ear that actually starts growing up here on his head, I'm going to leave because if I cut that off, it's going to look funny, okay? So you got to be kind of careful on what you cut off with the ear up because all this stuff is important when his ear is down. You just want to mainly stay right in front of the ear canal here if you're trying to leave the head like I am, Leo. If not, if you've already shaved the top of the head, then you can thin whatever you need to thin down there to make it look right. But since I'm leaving his head, I'm going to leave the stuff that's up here. Still kind of in front of his ear, but if I took it off, it'd look funny. Okay. Now, you want to make sure that you got everything under here, nice and neat and even, on the chest. Yes, he's a good boy. He's a mama's boy. Okay. Now, that is how I give Leo his haircut. Okay. I'm going to get the camera here and I'm going to show you. Close up, way close up there, huh, Leo? Okay. Whoops. Remember how to stand back up. Okay. Now, that is what Leo looks like. Come here, baby. Come here, sweetie. Okay. There. Okay. Now, that's what Leo looks like after his haircut. I hope you guys enjoyed and have fun trying on your own Cavi.